Hi, today we're going to draw the full figure head to toe over geometric forms. The figure is going to be 9 heads tall. We're going to measure the head height into the body length. Today we're going to draw the full front view fashion figure. Here is what you'll end up with, a full figure head to toe. And then this is our little model, so you can look at the body parts to see the geometric shapes. But you'll be working on your handout and filling in the empty figure on the right side. So the fashion figure is 9 heads tall. The normal regular human is about 6 to 7.5 heads tall. We'll be using head heights to judge and draw the figure. So you're dividing the figure into 9 head heights. Why do you think they draw them this tall and thin? And that's because the clothes might look better. The people that sell the clothes think they might look better on a longer, thinner figure. And also, if it's stretched out, you'll see more of the garment, some of the details of the garment. So this is the hardest lesson, to draw the body. But we have to draw the body first before the clothes, so we can make the clothes look believable and fit around the body. Otherwise, it'll look flat. So we're going to start with head, shoulders, neck. The figure needs to look three-dimensional, so we're going to round out geometric forms as we go along. Now we're going to concentrate on the head shape. It's an oval, almost an egg shape, except it's a little bit narrower on the sides. And we're going to judge the whole length of the body by the head measurement. And then the shoulders are going to be 2 head widths wide. So the width of the widest part of the head across, and then 1 head width on one side of the body and 1 head width on the other side of the body. This is a symmetrical front view for the formula figure. So we're not turning the head, we're not turning the body. And then now we'll go on to the torso. The head is an oval, and the hairline along the top. The width of the head is very important. We're going to judge the shoulders by the width of the head. So this is the measurement of the width of the head at the widest point. So you can take that width by eyeballing and putting your pencil point on the line and on the other side of the head. And from the center of the body out, make a dot on both sides, halfway in this section too. So you're going to divide that in half, and that's where your shoulder joints will be going. The neck is a cylinder that tapers slightly, and then there's the shoulder slope, and then it goes in around the shoulders. So the shoulders are 2 head widths wide, and then when you draw the shoulders around it, that includes the muscles. So the waist is going to be from hairline to chin. You're going to take that measurement and you're going to turn it on the side on this level between 3 and 4, and you're going to mark the waist. Then you're going to connect the waist to the shoulder joint on both sides, where number 2 and 3 meet the horizontal line and this diagonal line. That's the armpit. All of this is written here so you can see it. So we've done head, head width, neck. This is the collarbone and the shoulder joints. And then we'll go on to the torso. So the arms are next, and we'll be drawing the arms and the legs over geometric shapes. And then we'll go on to the hips and legs. The arms, we'll be doing the arms, and then we'll do with all the torso. So from the straight arm, remember we said everything's geometric, so here's like a tubular shape for the straight arm. And then you're going to go like we went around the shoulder joint. And you want to indent across from the armpit. The arm is slightly rounded on both sides. Tapers in above the elbow area. On this side, tapers in even higher. And you see the elbow bump, not the point of the elbow, but the fullness of the elbow area. And then it goes down to the wrist. And everything tapers to the wrist. The wrist is going to be a little below this line between 4 and 5. So from shoulder joint to elbow equals elbow to wrist. And then you're rounding out the ribs because the body's three-dimensional, so you don't want it to look flat. So everything's going to be rounded. On this side, same thing from armpit, round out the ribs. On the bent arm, you're going around the shoulder. The elbow goes higher if you bend your arm and put it on your hip, the classic fashion pose with hand on the hip. So these lines indicate the level that you're going to lift the elbow. So here again, that indentation, the roundness, the higher elbow. Here you have armpit. It's called the belly of the muscle, the fullest part. This is important here, the curve on the lower arm. The fullest part of the forearm is on top and then tapers toward the wrist. The bust. And then we'll go on to the hip and leg area. Next, we'll go on to the hip and leg area and drawing the details over the geometric shapes so that you can get all the indentations and muscle definition. And then we'll have drawn the whole body. Now we're going to work on the hip and leg area. So from the waist, you want to round out the hip, go around the hip joint, which is the same width as the shoulders. So these large dots indicate the hip bone. So it'll be about the same width as the shoulders. Of course, people differ in their hips and their shoulders, but for this formula figure, that's what we'll be doing. The knees are marked out for you, so you want a long knee bump from the crotch, the fullest part of the thigh, and then it slightly tapers above the knee bump. From the hip to the knee is a full continuous curve, and then the indentation on the other side of the knee. On the lower leg, from the knee, indentation, full continuous curve down to the ankle bone. The inner ankle bone is on this line. The outer ankle bone is below the line. So the angle is like this. The inner calf muscle underneath the knee bump, which is kind of long. People tend to make the knee bumps very short, but there's a lot going on in your knee and it has to hold up your whole body. So under the knee, a long indentation, this calf muscle, and then very long and extended area above the ankles. That's one way they can elongate the figure and make it look believable, by elongating from calf muscle to ankles. This line here indicates where the inner calf sticks out the most and where the outer calf sticks out the most. So these angles give the leg its shape, so it kind of looks like the calves are moving inward, which they are because the bone in here actually curves. And then you have just a simple shape for the foot. We'll do feet and hands later. Belly button, and there you have the whole figure, head to toe, the formula figure.